Hey ho, guys and gals, and hello, my friends. This is your host, Joe, Life with Yosef. It is the, I have to look here, I can never remember. It is the 4th of February. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon on the Nevada side of the river. Now, remembering that Arizona, where I live in Bullhead, does not do daylight savings time, so on standard time, they're an hour ahead. So, I, uh, I'm at In and Out in Laughlin. Here's my order. Dude is a risen star. He needs a grooming. He's looking a bit scruffy these days. So I dropped him off here Wednesday. Today I'm going to pick him up Friday. I've been wanting to do a little staycation on the Laughlin side of the river. So I got 2 nights at the Riverside for about $95 a night. I have a Riverview room, allegedly, and I haven't really been down on this side to run film in a very long time. So I want to walk through the Riverside. I want to go to the car museum. You need to sign up for the Players Club, or it's $10, and I'll do that. And I want to walk on the boardwalk, and we'll chat about that probably tomorrow. So, dude is at Risen Star, and I'll pick him up on Friday. I don't usually order 2 3x3s, but I was hungry today, and I'm glad that I did. I didn't eat all the fries because the fries you got to eat right away. I do eat my fries light well, and they are good, but when they get cold, like all fries, I guess, they're not as good. So, and I'm sipping on a strawberry shake. Probably shouldn't be eating that. I have iced tea, and the owner, Miss Lindsay, has stopped having artificial sweetener that's this artificial. And the pink stuff, Sweet and Low is the brand name, is the only stuff I find that dissolves in iced tea. The other sweeteners that tend to clump. Now in coffee, everything dissolves, but not in iced tea, only the pink stuff. So I'm going to start bringing my own, and I was prepared today. As I'm enjoying the ambiance and drinking my second giant iced tea, I've been babbling about trips forever. Well, I pulled the trigger on 2 of them. The first trip that I pulled the trigger on, which was not exactly in my wheelhouse, last night on my Facebook feed, Sammy Hagar is playing a residency at the Park MGM in Las Vegas. And I thought, what the hell, let's have a look. Well, the tickets, he's playing next month in March, and he has a Wednesday night show. And I thought, hell, I don't want to go on the weekend, I'm going to go during the week. So, as much as I despise Ticketmaster and the absolute nonsense that they are, they're the ones selling the tickets. So I bought myself a ticket. You know, they don't sell you this, you don't get the actual seat until you complete the purchase. And I always want to sit on the aisle because I'm big, and if I need to go to the bathroom, I don't want to climb over people. Well, they sell you the section in the row, but they don't tell you the seat until you actually are done with the purchase. And 3 different hockey teams down here do the same thing. The Golden Knights, their top minor team is in Henderson. And then there's in the AHL, and then there's an AHL team in Palm Springs and an AHL team in Tucson. And they all do that, and it irritates the hell out of me. And hell, for minor league hockey, the tickets are about $60, and I'm thinking, oh, no, dudes, no. I'll pay $60 to maybe to see the NHL, but, stop with all that nonsense. So I went ahead and bought the ticket for Sammy Hagar at the Park MGM, and I'm going to stay down on Fremont Street at the Apache, at the Hotel Apache. In fact, I got even a cheaper room because I didn't have a fridge in it. I may regret that, but probably not. You know, I know where the ice machine is, so I can't remember how much my room was at the Apache. I think it's, I don't know, $80 maybe. It was $59 and then taxes and stuff. They don't have a resort fee. Now, the Riverside here does, but, excuse me, I watch a Vegas host, Travel Ruby, and she does a lot of restaurant reviews and stuff. And she made the comment once about, one of the places on the Strip. Jesus Christ, I can't remember. It was Casino Royale. And they, at the time, to my recollection, weren't charging the resort fee. But Ruby made the point that, you know, however they want to finagle the numbers, for a lot of us, it's the bottom line. How much is the room a night? That's why the Riverside up here, even though they finagle their nonsense, it's about $92, and I could live with that. So at the Apache, there is no resort fee, and you pay the straight fees, you know, the straight room rate, rack rate. So there you go, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to Vegas for, like, from Sunday to the Friday of the week of the 11th. I think it's March 11th on the Wednesday for Sammy Hagar. I also decided, you know, I want to stay in Prim. I want to see it. I want to stay at the last remaining working casino, which is the Prim Valley Inn. And I'm going to want to probably go back out to Good Springs, and I want to go out to Sandy. And I'll talk about that when I get down there. But I'm going to stay there 2 nights. And it's the same deal, you know, there's the rack, you know, there's a room rate, and then they, you know, have to tack on the bullshit. But it's what the bottom line is. And I think it's about $100. And it's on the weekend. And, well, okay, I'll go ahead and pay it. So that's the first confirmed week of travel that I haven't mentioned yet. Now, you all have heard me prattle on about Amtrak. Well, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on Amtrak. I'm going the first full week in May. That week is the anniversary of the Dishes passing to be with Chico. And our first wedding was in the first week of May. And I talked about this. So I went ahead and when I was in Yuma, I started to get the bug up my butt again about, you know, maybe you want to pursue this. And I watched some of my Amtrak ride videos. I got 3 or 4. In fact, I think I'll link to the Amtrak specific folder in the descript. Anyway, I got to thinking, you know, dude, there ain't no time like the present. So I have a 4-leg trip that cost me about $29 and change. Now, I get 10% off for being 65, and when the gal on the phone, the agent, asked if I was 65 over 65, I'm going, yeah, baby, $300 off the bill. I'll accept that. So I found somebody down here, Sarah Payton. And I'll see if I can put her card or something up here. She's like a gal Friday. So I've already made contact with her, and she's going to pick me up and drive me to the Amtrak station in Kingman. And I'm going there instead of Needles because Kingman has a waiting room, for lack of a better word. I'm sure there's a word for it. I'll have to figure it out. And I'd rather sit inside than sit outside. So she's going to take me to Kingman. Then I'm going to ride the train from Kingman to... Oh, Jesus, hold on here. I had to hunt on my phone for 5 minutes to find the right PDF. It's Naperville, Illinois, which is the last stop before Chicago. And I didn't go all the way into Chicago because there weren't any real inexpensive motels in downtown Chicago, even though I'm not going to be able to more adeptly film the Union Station in Chicago, so I'm going to have to skip that to save a couple of bucks. So I'm going to go to Naperville. And then the next morning, I'm going to take that was on the Southwest Chief. Now I'm going to take the California Zephyr from Naperville to Sacramento. And I'm going to stay over in Sacramento. That's my layover. And then I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to take the Coast Starlight from Sacramento down to Los Angeles Union Station. I did that when my brother picked me up in Flagstaff. So I'm going to do that again. And then I'm going to stay somewhere right close by Union Station in Los Angeles. And then the next day, now the train doesn't leave till after 5. So like last time, I'll get down there, I'll sit in their pretty schmancy waiting room when you have the right type of ticket. And I'll wait until it's time to board, and I'll take the train out to Kingman, and then Sarah will pick me up and bring me home. And then the next day, or that afternoon, or that day, it's going to be Mother's Day. I'll probably get home about 2 o'clock in the morning, hopefully, and then I'll wake up and I'll pick up Dude. So I did pull the trigger on Amtrak. I'm going to Vegas to see Sammy Hagar. All that mindless babbling about stuff I want to do, and I'm pulling the trigger. So I've got two trips already ready to go, planned and everything. I do need to get my lodging straightened out in Naperville, Sacramento, and Los Angeles. So I'll probably do that within the next a few days. Now, I talked about like a really long summer trip, and that's not going to happen. Remembering that I'm going to go meet my brother and Sissy at Desert View at the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and that's at the end of June. So I'm just going to have to play that by ear. I'm going to have to see how much money I have, how much money I've spent, and I'm going to probably buy a Mr. fan. I'm going to see if I can tolerate that for the summer. And I just may end up packing Dude up and taking him somewhere. You never know. We'll worry about that when the time comes. So I think that's all that I wanted to talk about right now. I'm going to finish up my iced tea and my shake. I'm going to rest a little bit. And then I'm going to head down to the riverside. I can't check in till 2, and it's after 2 now. So I should be able to check in, and I'll probably lie down. And, well, you'll see what's next. Here's my Riverview looking to the east. That's Goat Island right there in the middle. Across the river's Bullhead City and the airport. Dude is out there somewhere at Risen Star. Here's the, not the water taxi up and down the river from casino to casino, but the riverside has its own river taxi that goes straight across the river. Prior to the Laughlin Bridge being built by Don Laughlin and donated to Arizona and Nevada, this was the way to get there. When Charlie and I years ago went on a 4-day ride from the Bay Area to Phoenix and Vegas and back, I remember the sign saying for 68 that you could park on the Arizona side and take the boat over. I want to point out here the shirt that I'm wearing is a peachy shirt, and I'll clip it in here. The clip says TT or Teehee, but it says peachy on the shirt. And those of you in my vintage, a great many of us had peachy folders at school. So if you see this, then this is going to be the close of the first day of the Staycation 26 Extravaganza #1. So this is, as always, your host, Joe. Life with Yosef. Thank you for watching and subscribing. God, I'm beat. I am just beat. Holy cow. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I'm up over 610 subscribers, so God love you. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. May Freya show you favor on the hunt through our fields so soft and green now and in the afterlife. Strength and honor. And we'll see you for the next one.